Namaskar and welcome to MyStartup TV. I'm your host Major Sunil Shetty. Today we have a very special guest who's joining this show. That is Dr. Saarthak Bakshi. He's coming on second time with us. He's a visionary behind Risaa IVF, Forbes 30 under 30. He's also founder of Upkar Women Welfare Trust, a healthcare innovator, a social change maker. He's redefining impact. So let's talk to him and understand the journey so far of Dr. Bakshi. Also, the way he's creating impact through his welfare programs and also, Risaa IVF itself. Dr. Bakshi, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Major Shetty. Just one correction: it's Risaa IVF, RISAA, and I can tell you the logic behind keeping that is. Since I co-founded that with my mother is Rita, I am Saarthak. So as the name goes, Risaa, as simple as that. So that's how we started this chain of fertility centers. And I think we've talked previously in our earlier session multiple times on what IVF and how it's an increasing challenge for anyone to have babies now. So I think we delve deep into it, but let's talk on whatever you are wishing to speak about today.
Perfect. So,
My apologies for the getting the name wrong. What has been the childhood experience for you, or values that shaped your passion for healthcare and social impact, and how did they guide you towards entrepreneurship?
I will be very truthful to you, Major Shetty, that as every child, you're either do what your parents are doing or you're confused, thinking of what you'll do. So I was in both the situation. Both my parents are doctors. So 99% of doctors' children will eventually become doctors, as they say. But you see the struggle, you see the amount of work that they put in, you see the rewards, and you see the kindness and the benevolence that you get after that. So, while I was growing up, again, since you had nothing better to see than see healthcare all the time, and you had nothing better to think of than becoming a doctor itself. But there was always this thought in my mind that the gestation, MBBS, internship, then SRship, then MD, and then super specialization. So we're talking about 18 to 33, like 15 years of studies, and then okay, you start your career. Was I was never that interested to put that much amount of effort, whereas I've always felt that I can probably create a larger impact by doing something in healthcare, even being a non-medico, or utilizing or leveraging what my parents have done. So a doctor's child does not only have to become a doctor or just healthcare, solving any healthcare challenge, not only from a medical perspective, but from an impact perspective. My motto has always been to create scalable impacts. And for that, you don't require to be a medico. Getting the knowledge of what the healthcare ecosystem is lacking, that has been helpful because of my parents. But the impact that I wanted to create was done separately as by being a non-medico. And that is what shaped me into doing multiple things in healthcare.
so that's a very smart way of,
Picking what you want, yet being in within the sphere of what your parents have been doing, like a healthcare, right? So what inspired you to start Risaa IVF? I hope that I got the right name, name right this time. And what are the biggest challenges you faced in building it into a trusted healthcare brand, especially when you rightly said today more and more young couples are facing challenge of having a child, and this is kind of society issue also, right? There's an emotional issue to it. It's a big burden on the couple, especially the lady, and when you come across, when they come across somebody like you, your organization Risaa IVF, it must be coming as a big relief that okay, there is some solution out here. So what led to all this?
Now tell that obviously my mother being an IVF specialist, that was the leverage that has always been an added on advantage. But I see it all around. Now that I see it because I'm in the business, I see it all around. Having a baby, what was an earlier thought, and I say that at a lot of colleges and schools that I speak to, we have always been taught, and this is from times immemorial. I mean, there have been deliveries going on and babies being produced for 10,000s of years. Mankind's existence has been going on. So assume that this is the most easiest thing to do. I mean, there is no rocket science about it. Having a baby, it does not require any energy or any thought. And even in school, we are always taught vice versa. We are always taught that we need to skin diseases, dental problems. The problems are only increasing. The reason could be multifold, as you rightly said. Um, Sorry, just a second.
Doctor.
Are you getting some noise? Sorry, just a second, just to.
Yeah, Dr. Bakshi, we'll
Request you
request you
to
to.
repeat that because there was a technical glitch, and I think we lost you for a while. So we would request you to restart.
I believe so. Like any other child, nobody knows what the future holds for you. And when we started this with a vision of changing the mindset. The impact was always, as I said, my focus has always been to create scalable impact. And I thought to myself that during my school years, I was taught when how not to have a baby. Everyone has always told that it's the most easier thing to do. There is no rocket science into it. We have been having babies for 10,000, 15,000 years since mankind has been into existence. So there was never any occurrence of the fact that someone can face this problem. And as you rightly said, that the problem, even if it occurs, is thought so that it's a urban population. It's an urban problem. Are you getting some disturbance or no?
Yes. No, 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 good, good. Please go ahead.
So there's always this urban disturbance that we are always known for. So how do you solve that urban disturbance is the question. And when I was thinking about it, that there are medicines, there are alternative form of treatments, there was Ayurveda, there were so many things that people do, from visiting temples to going to godly figures to just to figure out. But nobody was going on to the root cause of the problem because of the societal challenge being saying I am not a man, I have some problem with my sperm. Nobody's ready to accept that. Even today, even being in 2025, when the world has advanced so much, no man is ready to accept that. Women are ostracized, or women are, given a problem in the sense how if there is any infertility, it's because of the woman. That mindset had to change. So our problem was not only a medical solution that we were looking for. Our problem was to deep, these societal challenges, these deep rooted mindset, the rural thought process of not having a baby, probably leaving the wife and choosing someone else. We were more concerned, and our impact, what I wanted to create was to go into that sector and that scenario. That how can I relinquish all of these things and create a sustainable solution so that everybody can go for treatment. So treatment was available, but how do we get everyone into the doorstep that having a baby is a possibility for each and every one? हम दो, हमारे दो, गवर्नमेंट ने तो बोल दिया, बट आजकल हम दो, हमारा एक भी पॉसिबल नहीं हो रहा फॉर एटलीस्ट 1 in 6 couples. At least 15 to 20% of the couples are facing this problem of just having a single child.
And
You
I
know,
know.
it just caught my attention when you said how in school we are taught not to have babies, and nobody's talking about fertility problem. Given the fact that I mean, having read some reports, having read the news, that most of these are driven by lifestyle is one of the major things, the food habits that you have. So and I think there is a immediate requirement or urgent need that the fertility issues need to be addressed at a very early stage. So being recognized in Forbes 30 under 30 for healthcare and science is the major milestone. How did this shape your vision for your work?
So as we said, we started with the fact that how do we create a mindset change? How do we create such a big impact for such a big country where the problem is plentiful? The problem is not to one geographical location or to one problem of society, or it's a rural thing, or not an urban or a semi-urban, or it's only for Hindus and not Muslims or Christians. The problem is for all humankind, mankind. So when we thought deep about it, that how can we create a solution, an economically advantaged solution for any human being? The only solution that came to us was that getting that medical treatment, understanding the medical problem, and making people aware that it can happen to anyone and everyone. Even if I don't smoke, even if I don't drink, even if I am in the best of health and an exercise daily, it can happen to me. Unless people start coming out with their voice and unless people open up about this story, nobody else would believe it. So our model had always been to start communicating. And we had started multiple other projects like Fertility on Wheels. People would become shy in coming to an IVF center. So can we go probably to their house or to a campsite where people can come and actually discuss their problems? So we really figured out that apart from the medical thing, it's a lot of psychological issue that we need to solve. And we focused a lot on the psychological aspect of it.
Definitely. I mean,
These are, I mean, as you rightly said, it is women who carry the burden of, if the childless as a couple. So, how do you can you share a specific innovation at Risa IVF that you are particularly proud of, and it has impact, it has a great impact on patients?
Fertility on Wheels was a project that we started where we had a mobile van and we were doing door-to-door testing. So we would wind up, since the problem is not an emergency, it's an elective procedure. And if I would say you are, sir, say you will live in Vasant Kunj or Saket in anywhere, and if we would combine 4 to 5 people from that area, our mobile van with everything equipped inside the van, a small consultation room, a blood test, a phlebotomist, everyone which was present, whatever we could offer, would go to that area. The couple would come within the van itself, which was not branded as an IVF center or something. We would do the blood test over there, we would do the consultation over there, we will do the counseling over there, and then we move on to the next one. So the innovation here was how to make you comfortable, how to make it psychologically possible for you to start discussing your problem.
I mean
That's
that's
a brilliant idea actually. IVF on wheel, especially in the urban setting, where time is one option, one constraint. The other is this total stigma, and taking the thing there and not branding it as what it is, and providing them solution. I think that's perfect. That's a smart way of doing it. So there must have been significant obstacles that you must have faced, as an entrepreneur, especially rolling out something which has got a social angle to it. How did you overcome it, and and what's keeping you, what's that keeping you, doing this in and out every day?
For motivation first, the impact that we are creating and the lives we are touching, there is no bigger impact, no bigger happiness that I get. The more people I meet, the more patients we cater to, the more amount of happiness that we bring to every year, and there's almost in every day I'm getting a message from some or the other patient that thank you, Dr. Bakshi, for your whole team and the Risa team, for giving this happiness and this bundle of joy. And then they second send us a picture. It's the second birthday, it's the third birthday. So, you're in touch, and it's not your birthday that you're happy with. You're happy with how much happiness have you provided to so many people. Carrying a baby, I mean, and I get this question, Major Shetty, if I get cost, do we require more people in India? We are 1.45 billion people. A lot of people ask me, you see countries like Japan, America, US, and all the developed ones, they are on a fertility decline. The TFR, the total fertility rate, the amount of people required to replenish the population is 2.1. India is at 2.1 right now. So we are losing the number of people and we are reproducing them. So that's how it's going. All the other developed nations have a TFR of less than 2.1. That means their populations are not getting replenished as the number of old people are increasing and the new babies are being less. A lot of countries are now given out subsidies, they're giving out incentives to have babies. They are, Europe is giving, you have a baby, we are going to give you money, we are going to take care of it. Japan is doing that. I mean, multiple countries. But in India, we don't say that we have this population problem, but I'm telling you, we don't see the problem now. We see the problem probably 20, 30 years down the line, when it will actually become very difficult because of the changes in our hormonal level, because of the changes in our the semen count that is decreasing for men, particularly because of the other problem that women are having, PCOS, endometriosis, which is not having baby. These things are increasing at such a high rapid rate that you can't know that having the God-given gift of making or producing a baby, which you think would happen like this, is not taking going to happen. So my motivation has always been to be ahead of the curve. How do you keep identifying this problem, that this problem will only increase and increase, and what can we do about it? Um, Secondly, the question that you asked was, how do you create this? So what was the second question, Ms. Shetty?
so I said, there must be significant. You must
Face
have.
significant obstacles, while doing, while launching Risa IVF, and also, rolling out programs like, Risa IVF on wheel, IVF clinic on wheel. So, how did you overcome them? What were these obstacles, and how did you overcome them? The challenges.
Fact, it's a very expensive procedure per se. Setting up a clinic is expensive. Getting patients into the clinic is expensive, and giving out solutions which are economically viable after so many of expenses are made. So the major challenge was how to make this treatment cost effective. And one of the other model that we said was that out of our own pocket, or each one treat one. If you can, if you are well affording, or if you have, you can afford, a part of the other person's treatment can be subsidized. If you are paying, say our treatment cost is 2 or 2.5 lakh, if you're paying 3 or 3.5 lakh, then it's not that we are charging you more. You are going to subsidize someone else's treatment, and we are going to let the other couple know that this is your benefactor or this is your donor who has helped you get the IVF treatment in under a lakh rupees, probably 50,000 or a lakh. So that treatment cost, which when subsidized, would actually create miracles for the other one. So each one treat one was the second program that we launched on how to make IVF treatment affordable and accessible for each and every one, especially for the rural areas, especially for tier 3 towns, Shamli, Pilibhit, Hapur, where we are having our camps and where we have our other satellite centers. So that's the second model we applied. So for each challenge, I would always think that what is the solution? Because challenges, as you rightly said, Major Shetty, that there are plentiful. There's sometimes with the regulatory challenges, there are economical challenges, there are psychological issues, parents not agreeing. So many of these things, would keep on coming, and that's the journey for any entrepreneur. So the solution always lied in thinking out of the box, that how can you make that possible? And the more deeper you dive into it, that what is the core issue that we're trying to create or help, you would definitely find a solution. And that's been my go-to motto, that I would rather not find a short fix solution, but what is a bigger solution and bigger thing.
I like the fact that
While
while
you're
you're
helping couples, you know, have a child, also you're also there is this that Robin Hood model, right? People who can afford, a part goes from them to somebody who can't afford it, the treatment, which is because that's how, when you're doing a social entrepreneur, as a social entrepreneur, when you're doing, thing that is for the society, that's what you need to think. That's also, something like Devi Shetty does, right, with the cardiac surgeries, where he, people who can't afford are subsidized by people who can. So, as a co-founder, what motivated you to focus on women and child welfare? And what's your success story, from this kind of work that you've been doing?
I would definitely feel that we live in a little bit of patriarchal society where men do have an unfair advantage when it comes to the stigma associated with infertility. Generally, men are less acceptable of the problem that this could happen because of them. So our focus, whenever we were doing the psychological counseling to a couple, and whenever we tried to give to a solution, we always thought that women are more backseated. They would probably take the blame, or they will not come out openly with the problem. So in all that essence of it, we created a solution that how can we even help women get out of it, or how can we make women more powerful to voice out their opinion. And during all of that, we created a trust, and we started multiple activities of vocational activities of training women, so that they can even earn their livelihood apart from being a housewife. And what can we do? Our industry always involves, say sperm donors, egg mothers. So anybody who's even being in that third party assisted reproduction, how can we help them, say if they have donated their eggs once, what can they do the next time? So
and how does your involvement as a fellow, with uh, uh, how does that work in, while you when you rolled out Risa
IVF.
IVF?
sorry, as a
A fellow and program
Lead,
lead.
in the startup leadership program.
that I am involved in. I have been actively involved in the startup industry. I have a small fund also where I actively invest into startups. I'm a mentor and an advisor to multiple startups. I'm on the board of multiple healthcare and non-healthcare startups. So during my journey, as I said, I personally believe that the more I learn, the more I can give back. And that learning has always been possible while I've interacted with multiple people and multiple startups. The amount of technology aspect, IVF per se is a very brick and mortar and a traditional kind of service that we are offering. But with startups, with technology changing, with the integration of newer and newer thought processes coming in, I would probably imply all of those things into the fertility industry, or create myself or make myself a better human being in terms of how can I impart that knowledge to the other. So as we started something called as a startup leadership program, which you're talking about, which I was the program lead for, and then I, became a mentor on multiple founder institute, venture catalysts, multiple programs, accelerators that I'm part of, where I keep talking to startups and keep sharing what my experience is. And frankly, Major Shetty, I believe there is nothing better than sharing your experience. I can't tell you what is right or what is wrong, but I can definitely tell you the mistakes I made. And if I can share my mistakes, you can obviously learn from that you don't need to make those mistakes which I made. And that is a very steep learning curve that you're going to save if I can let you know what mistakes I have done. So I like to share my mistakes out with the open so that please don't make the same mistakes that I did.
No, that's very
Important,
important.
as an entrepreneur, to be able to share, what you did wrong and where were the potholes that you could have avoided, and because you can learn from it as an entrepreneur. So your role also, you're also part of Rotary International and Leo Club. Could you highlight, your commitment to this social good, and how have these experiences shaped your leadership style?
As I said, that we had already started our own welfare trust called Upkar, where we were giving back to the women that have been in touch with us, in any form of fertility treatment. But what can we do more? So I got aware about Rotary organization, Lions organization, Roundtable, I became a part of it. And the best thing about them was, say if I am able to collect 5-10 lakh rupees on for a cause, it could be making a music room at a school, or it could be, doing a training project. It could be making a water canal in Rajasthan. There are multiple projects that Rotary or Lions or Roundtable used to inculcate, even doing like cataract camps or something. So whatever fund we could raise to our organization, the international Rotary International Lions or Roundtable would actually match that fund, and through that bigger corpus, we would be able to create a bigger impact. So it was always about the impact that I was creating, and reaching out to these fellow organizations, I was always able to create a bigger and larger impact than what I was able to do alone. So together, we shall start, and together we shall make a difference.
That's
Commendable.
commendable.
So, what do you see as the biggest opportunity or challenge for the healthcare industry in India, and how do you plan to address it?
Industry in India is actually very fragmented and very broken, Uh, People think it's only doctors and hospitals. From a doctor and a hospital, doctor and hospital can, inside a hospital can be a part of it, but a patient's journey to a hospital is very broken. The finance of it, the the TPA or the third party insurance, the other kind of mechanism, the government insurances that come into play, the reimbursement of it, getting a bed into the hospital, getting the right doctor, then the diagnostics aspect to it, the pharmacy aspect of it. So healthcare itself is a very big subject. And a lot of startups have come into picture which have tried in solving this problem, that how can we, just connect a doctor to a patient, as if that would solve everything. The right kind of medicine, the right kind of follow-ups, the right kind of treatment, the right kind of admission at the right time. All of this is still lacking since, and we always believe that, that Delhi or Mumbai or Hyderabad or Chennai, the larger cities, have the healthcare problem solved. Even there, it is of the same issue, that how do the right person, reaches at the right stage and makes it economically viable and affordable. You can, sir, go for your treatment into any hospital, but then your heart will always be pounding कि भाई ठीक हो ना हो, बिल ना आ जाए 10 लाख रुपए का, what do I do कि ठीक तो कर देंगे but उसके बाद डेट में पड़ जाऊं. So healthcare is has been challenging and will be challenged unless it becomes that kind of a seamless thing where you are insured, and you know that your insurance will actually work if you step into any hospital without having a thought. Till that time, there is this big gap where everyone is afraid of getting sick. If I get sick and if I have insurance, I'm not sure that I can walk into any hospital and everything will be fine. I ask 10 times the question, okay, is my insurance covered? Will you be able to it? Is it cashless? Is it TPA? Is it reimbursed? It is not. What is taken care of? What is not? What will be the other point of expenses? My child is not insured. My father, mother is not insured. I might be insured. So many issues are there, and health per se can such an unimaginary problem that can occur to anyone at any point of time. We are hale and hearty at one point, and the next moment, something like COVID hits or something like a dengue malaria can happen to anyone. So,
No, definitely. Having
Personally
personally
experienced
experienced
it.
it.
I can say the healthcare insurance is waiting for a big disruption. There needs to be somebody needs to come in and say everything covered, which is not the case right now. Something comes up, either you are not covered, your declaration is not correct, or at the end the hospital says it only covers you X percentage, you still have to pay, which is a big challenge because you're already going through as an individual, as a family, you're going through the crisis of the health challenge plus then the financial thing. So coming back to you, what's the personal mantra or philosophy that is driving you as an entrepreneur, as a healthcare professional?
personally, I've felt that unless you create an impact, um, as a doctor also I'm providing service to few people, whoever is reaching out to us. As a human being, you can help a few problem, but I always want to, and I actually believe unless my impact, unless it reaches to a larger population, only then I believe I'll be fulfilled. Until the time I'm not able to create that impact, I'll keep on striving and I'll keep on looking for solutions that can impact a million families or can impact 10 million families. Until I'm able to figure that out, I'll keep going at it. I don't stop at, okay, I've helped, say in an year, I've helped 2000 people have babies. So that is not the impact that I'm creating. Probably if I can help 2 million people so understanding infertility or getting to know about what a fertility means to them, can that happen to a 8-year-old or 18-year-old girl, or can a 25-year boy has a problem? Until I can create that impact where people understand their fertility and they don't take it for granted, I'll actually keep on going in the fertility industry till I reach out to as many people as I can. So that is my
Uh,
impact.
and we
Yes,
as my
MyStartup TV, will be happy to be part of your journey, bringing that message, taking that message across, and we wish you all the very best. And Dr. Bakshi, thank you for being on our show.
Pleasure speaking to you. Always wonderful to have this discussion with you.
viewers, that is Dr.
Saarthak
Saarthak
Bakshi,
Bakshi.
who's a co-founder with his parents, Risaa IVF, and he was sharing his journey, his passion, vision, what's driving him, and what's his vision. What's the impact he wants to create. If you want to be part of such stories, join us Monday to Saturday, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. live on MyStartup TV. Thank you for joining. We'll see you tomorrow.